Hey guys, meet Troy, my German wire-haired pointer. Troy is kind of an oddball, just like the fish we have here in the Roma tank. He's ranked number 64 in popularity with the AKC. But because he's a bit of an oddball and maybe a rare breed, sure doesn't mean he's in a lot of fun. And so are some of the oddball fish that we have here in this Roma aquarium. In a lot of our videos, we've had this tank in the background. We've gotten a lot of questions about these species of fish, so we thought we'd cover them today. In fact, we have the spotted climbing perch, or the African bushfish. We have a ropefish, a couple of them in fact, and a Polypterus lapridae. So we've got three different species of oddball kind of fish that are really interesting, and we're going to go through a few interesting points about them with you. So that's the leopard bushfish. Now that's a species that gets to be about 6 inches long. It's a predator. It's got a very large mouth, in fact, so small fish are a no-no. You've got to keep it with fish that are at least its own size. Its temperament can be mildly aggressive, so you got to watch them. You know, tank mates like we have in here, the ropefish and the Polypterus, are actually good choices, obviously. They originate from Africa. They come from a variety of different habitats, in fact. They like a pH range from 6.5 to 7.5, a temperature range of about 77 to 82 degrees. And in fact, they are a carnivore, so they usually adapt quite well to pellets, frozen foods. They do well on, for example. Now, an interesting point about this fish, about this bushfish, is the fact that it belongs to the family Anabantidae. So it's the same family of fish as the betta, for example, grammies. These are anabantoids. In fact, it builds a bubble nest, and it is capable of breathing atmospheric air. So it's a pretty interesting fish. Next is the ropefish. In fact, the ropefish is a species that's probably the most peaceful out of the three of these. Not that there's really any problems in this tank at all between them, but it is really a peaceful species. It's a very long fish. It gets to about 12 to 13 inches in length. It's a fish that prefers the same kind of pH range as the other two, 6.5 to 7.5, same temperature range, 77 to 82, pretty much ideal. The ropefish does or is able to tolerate relatively low oxygen type levels in the natural waters it comes from. So that is an advantage for it. It's a little bit more durable in that sense. And because of its long snake-like appearance and its very small scales, and the way it moves about the aquarium, a sand substrate is really the best choice for keeping ropefish, because of the fact that they kind of touch along the bottom as they move often. You don't want any type of substrate that's going to aggravate them, so sand is really called for when it comes to ropefish. Their origin is from Africa as well, and they are predominantly a carnivore, so they adapt well typically to pellets, even flake foods, a variety of different frozen foods. They're really pretty easy to feed. And of course, this is a pretty interesting fish in the sense that it's their unique look. The only thing is they're a little bit more active nocturnally. They do prefer to come out a little bit more at night, and they're not quite as visible during the day. So the last fish we're going to talk about is the Polypterus lapridae. Now this is the fish that actually gets the biggest out of the group. They can get to almost 1.5 feet or so in aquariums. So you know, an aquarium this size, a little over 60 gallons or so, that's really minimum for a 7 or 8 incher like we have right now. And then when he puts on some weight and gets a little bit longer, we're going to transfer him up to a 6-footer, of course. Now this is more of a nocturnal fish, or a little bit more shy. It really needs a lot of structure. It's not one that we're going to see right now, that's for sure. He's hiding out, but when things are quiet around the aquarium during the day, you can dim down the light, it'll come out generally. They adapt easily to a variety of different foods, pellets, frozen foods. They are a carnivore, no small fish with them. You've got to keep them with fish like other Polypterus, or this bushfish we have over here is a good choice, of course. They like the same type of pH range and temperature range as two different species of tank mates we have in here, 77 to 82, 6.5 to 7.5. Those are ideal. And this is really a very interesting fish in terms of how ancient this is. It has ancestors that date back all the way to 200 million years ago, the early dinosaur phase, where the Polypterus was in existence. So it's kind of like a living fossil in a sense. Another really interesting point about the Polypterus is the fact that its swim bladder is really divided into two sections, one of which is used as a breathing organ. It's really kind of a special fish. really different looking, very ancient looking, looks kind of like a link between amphibians and fish. I like it. It's a super cool fish. So there you have it, guys. Don't be shy. You know, oddball fish can be a lot of fun, but the most important thing to remember is do your research and be aware of what you've got to do to look after the fish properly.